Es pre-grabado, pre-recorded.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Is that okay? And then
Of course, I thought we were going live. I'm like,
and then we'll do a video and
I
everything.
love it.
Yes, I love that you're here.
I love that I'm here.
You love that you're here?
Have you seen the movie?
Yes.
Oh,
I watched it last night.
Do you like it?
I love it.
It's so good, right?
It was like funny. You're always like, you've always been funny though, I have to tell you.
Thank you.
But you know this, so I don't know why I'm telling you. You guys are
Not me,
chemistry.
but Rogelio de la Vega is extremely fun.
You guys are so great together. I love it.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Okay, so we're gonna get started.
Ow!
All right, just do me a favor and test your microphone for me so I can make sure we're
3,
good.
4, 5, 6 niveles, niveles 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10, los niveles, sí.
It's my new ringtone right there. I love it.
I want to know where you get that energy
It's another
from,
beautiful
like,
day
so
to be
early.
Paulina. Wake up, Paulina. I want to record one for you.
Okay.
Es que el ringtone de Rogelio de la Vega era It's another beautiful day to be
¿En serio?
Rogelio. Wake up, Rogelio.
That's amazing. What's going on? It's Paulina Rowe here with iHeart Radio, of course, 103.5 KISS FM. And that's right.
Yeah.
And in the building today, I have very special guests that mean so much to me. So I'm excited that you're here today.
Stop it.
Oh, but I'm not going to do that. So I would like to welcome Jaime Camil and Sandra Echeverrial. How are you?
Hi, Paul.
Echeverria was good. Was a very good attempt. So
I
thank
knew
you
you
for
were going
that.
to call me out.
No, that was good.
I'm
Let
just
me try one more
open.
time.
I'm
Yes.
open for new versions.
No, I want to say it correctly because my name is Paulina, not Paulina or Paulina.
It's Echeverria.
Echeverria.
Hey!
Today.
Here in
Thank
America,
you.
they say Echeverria, so I'm okay with it.
Echeverria.
No,
Echeverria.
No.
Me, well, I go from Jamie to Hayayam. I mean, it's just
Whatever.
Oh, they played a prank on a PA one time on Jane the Virgin. They played a prank on her. Like, Jaime really likes his name to be pronounced correctly. So don't mess it up. And the poor PA was stressing, right? I couldn't care less, by the way, but they wanted to play. Yeah, she was like an intern, so they wanted to play the classic like welcome prank, whatever.
Yeah.
And she was so nervous that she went like, "Excuse me, Ham." And I'm like, "Excuse me, who?" So she was trying to say Jaime, pero yeah, it was mean. It was mean. I'm gonna
It was
call
mean.
The PA was mean?
No. It was mean from the production office to play that prank on her. Because I don't care how they pronounce my name, to be honest. I couldn't care less. But the girl was so nervous. She was very sweet.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's so important though, especially because we're talking about a movie that I thought was so hysterical and so funny and relatable. But I feel like pronunciation is very important, just like representation matters. So does pronunciation.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Love it, yeah.
Yes, so I'm all about it.
I feel you, girl.
Yeah, you feel me though?
Yeah.
Yes. So I got a chance to see the movie.
Yeah.
Amazing, by the way. Can't wait for it to come out in theaters here in Chicago.
Wait, screening or with an audience?
No, in my room by myself.
Okay.
Thank
With
you so
an
much for
audience?
watching. Thanks so much for finding the time to watch it. Because
Definitely.
That's, like, we really
course.
appreciate that.
Yes.
No, I'm all about movies and especially with Latino leads. You know what I'm saying? For me, that's very important because growing up, I felt like I didn't get to see a lot of that on the screen as much as I would have liked to, as far as
course.
like in lead roles, you know. And
Yeah, definitely.
and I grew up because I'm half Latina, right? So for me, I got to grow up with some of the telenovelas in my house or like my friend's house, right? So I was introduced to a lot of different types of film and TV. So for me, I thought it was very important to see that where I could watch it with my friends now.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Or my
Of
coworkers.
course,
Of course, and you see how flawless we go from English to Spanish, and that's our life. Immigrants that we live in this country, that's our life. We talk to our Latino peeps in Spanish, and then we talk to our English-speaking friends, a nuestros amigos gabachos, in English, and that's how life.
That's real life, exactly.
And I love that. So
Yeah.
las Pildoras de mi Novio.
Yay.
So my boyfriend's meds.
Yay!
Yeah, you got
But
it.
you know what? Don't look for my boyfriend's mens on the poster. Either look for Sandra or my face on the poster, or las píldoras de mi novio, because my boyfriend's mens is not even in parentheses.
Right.
So
That's
people
true,
are gonna
too.
like,
Yeah.
I'm here to see my boyfriend's men. No, we don't have that movie right now.
They're gonna be like, "Oh."
Perdón, what? Sí, exactly.
That's very true. But I want to talk about the movie because your chemistry was so good in it. Have you ever worked together before?
Hell
Wow,
yeah!
Okay.
Kind of,
In
kind of.
animated form.
Yeah, in animated way, in an animated.
Really?
Yeah, we actually did The Secret Life of Pets years ago.
Okay.
We both were like a part of a soap opera that Gidget used to watch. So it was so funny because I did my voice on my own, and then Jaime recorded his, and then they put us together in the soap opera. and that was actually our first job
Our
without
first
seeing
job
each
together.
other.
The Secret Life of Pets.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love that though, and now you get to bring it to your own, I guess, version, right? Your own version of,
Definitely.
of
Exactly.
film.
Yeah, it was amazing. Well, but the film is. I ask you if you watch it by yourself or with an audience, because it is incredible when you see so many cuts of the film and you're sending notes as a producer. You have to see this film many, many, many times and
Right.
send notes, whatever. You become numb. Like you're like, oh, is this funny? I don't know. Are people gonna laugh with this? I don't even know if it's funny anymore. It's just very stressful. It's very stressful.
Yeah.
And then for the first time, we saw the movie with an audience in Houston yesterday, and it was such a breath of fresh air and overwhelmed with emotions because the
Yes.
people don't.
Stop
The
laughing.
movie,
Like
it doesn't go with 4 or 5 minutes without a reaction. Either
Amazing.
a laughter, an LOL, or feelings, or oh, or crying. It's so. I mean,
It was
thank
so
God.
amazing, yeah.
It was so good to watch it with an audience.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. No, I can imagine. Even I laugh by myself in my room. But you know what I like too is like a lot of the stuff, like for example, like, and you know this, speaking Spanish, right? If you say a word in Spanish, sometimes it doesn't translate right to English, which is funnier in Spanish.
There you go.
So I think for that part, that was my favorite when I watched the movie because I was like, oh, LOL. Like maybe the next guy next to me won't get it, but I do.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
exactly.
so sweet.
Yes, so I love
Yeah.
that part.
An American guy went, like white American guy went approached me at the movie theater and was like, "Dude, this is so good. I love the movie."
Yeah.
So that was also revealing because of course you want your U.S. Hispanics and your Latino brothers and sisters to support. But
Absolutely.
then when you see that the mainstream market is also very excited about the project, then that's the cherry on the.
Yeah, it's a very universal comedy. I mean, like everybody can relate and everybody can have fun with it, and we really heard people laughing since the beginning to the end. So that was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. So what about like the themes in the movie? Any messages we could take away from it too?
I'm sorry.
Any what?
Any messages or
Messages,
themes? Uh-huh.
yes.
Yeah, well, actually, I think most of the people in the world have a condition of some kind, like some mental issues.
Yes.
And this story is about one guy that is struggling that, and he's not honest with his new girlfriend. He doesn't want to tell that from the
Right.
beginning. And then they travel together, he forgets his meds, and then he starts getting crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, of course, it's normal that I'm freaked out when he tells me that he has all these conditions, and I think that's completely normal. But I think the message is we have to accept people as they are. And there
be
are,
honest, no?
and be honest, totally. And there are treatments. Like right now, you can have a very, very normal life with a very good guidance and with a treatment.
I mean, I played the guy with mental health issues, so
Right.
that was a big responsibility. So of course, we didn't want to just like the karaoke scene, for example. We didn't want this guy to be silly and dancing like crazy just to make people laugh. If you see the close-ups of Hank, you could see Hank really, really struggling. No, but going back to the Hank situation, the guy has mental health issues, of course, and what we wanted to do is to portray him, honestly and without insulting anyone.
Right.
So of course, when you see the close-ups of him, he's really struggling, and the mental condition is taking over him. He's not in control, basically, and I saw that people at the theater really empathize with the guy, like
Of
go like,
course.
oh my God, oh poor guy, like, and that was good because we don't want just to be in a comedic situation without any gravitas, like especially if you're tapping into the. But comedy is a very powerful and efficient tool to touch about sensitive subjects like mental health issues
Absolutely.
or genocides. I mean, comedy is very, very powerful when it comes to that, and it gives you a pass to touch certain subjects openly and honestly, but with respect, of course.
Of course. I kind of wanted to ask about that too, because mental health is very important to me, and I just launched an initiative here in Chicago, in Pilsen, which is a primarily Mexican American neighborhood, right?
Awesome.
Of course.
So the thing is, so it's really a big deal for me because I always feel like we don't get the resources that we need, we don't talk about it enough. There's so much stigma in our community. So did you ever feel like a sort of pressure making this movie when you did address the mental health issue? Did you feel like it's my responsibility to kind of
No.
do that?
No, zero. It's because it's not a BBC documentary, to
Right.
be honest. It's a rom-com.
Mhm.
But having said that, I did have the script like 3 years in advance, and I really trusted the words and the book written by Gary Marks and Randy Mayhem Singer, who wrote Mrs. Doubtfire. So it was a very powerful script. It was a very comedic and powerful book. And if you have a good story to tell, there's no way the story is gonna come out funky or in a or in a non-serious. I mean, being a rom-com, approaching comedy, you have to do it seriously. Not, you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah, you cannot play the clown to be a comedic actor. You have to let the situation do the comedy. That's why it's called situational comedy, right? So it wasn't a concern of mine of the script. I knew the script was good, and I knew that the story we were telling, the point was going to come across very clearly.
Yes. No, I think you did an amazing job touching that, obviously, and then being hysterical, because you typically are in everything that you do, I gotta say.
Right?
I know, right?
And
And like I said,
the hard part is to keep a straight face in front of everything that he's doing in the scene.
oh, I bet. No, you both were hilarious, and I especially love the beginning scene. I don't want to say too much of what happens in the very first scene, but
Oh, yeah.
I thought you kept your cool really nice, Sandra, because that was hilarious.
Thank you.
With your,
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was hard too.
You're like, oh my god, no, that actually threw me off guard, but it was hilarious because it's relatable too. Like, I'm in the dating world, so for me, like, you
What
know,
does that mean? I mean, come again.
And
That
then-
means that means you're dating.
I mean, I'm dating. I'm
You
She's
open-
trying to
you're
find
open
the
to
perfect
dating.
guy.
Yes.
She's trying to find the perfect guy, just like
Thank
this
you.
was,
Okay.
right?
Are
That's-
you in a? Are you? Do you use the apps?
I do use the apps.
Of
Which
course,
one?
like we all did.
So I used Tinder and
I
Hinge.
see. Imagine. Where can we find you now?
I know, right?
No,
But there's one actually for Latinos that I really like, and I met
Stop
someone
it,
off of
for
there.
Latinos?
It's called Chispa,
Chispa.
Yes, I really like it.
Why would they have such a? I don't like the name. You
I
like
don't
the
know.
name?
I know I don't, but I like the guy I met on there.
Oh really?
Yes, I met a
Oh,
guy.
Have you
good,
gone
so
out
it's
with him?
working.
I have, yes.
Stop it! How many
Wow.
times?
Twice.
Stop it!
Oh.
Wait, and is he like nice and whatever? Is he like a serial killer? Give us the
See,
details.
I don't know yet. I gotta
Serial
find out.
killer.
I mean, I want to find out. But
Okay, don't find out. And just first dates always in a
Yes.
public place.
Always.
Always
Well,
public
Paulina,
places.
you can
Always.
see, I mean,
so you
Jess-
can run, scream, something.
Jess, I mean, Jess was trying to find the perfect guy,
Yes.
and it didn't go well in the first time, but you know it worked out.
Yeah, but
So,
then Jess
yeah,
invites him.
Give him a chance.
Invites him to travel with her after 12 hours of meeting the guy. I mean,
well,
come on.
I wanted to
You took
get
a chance.
to no, I wanted to get to know you better.
Para conocer a Andrés, viaja con él un mes. There's a Mexican saying that goes, para conocer a Andrés o Inés, if you want to be gender neutral. Sí, es para conocer a Inés, viaja con ella un mes.
And I thought it was funny too because like one of the guys I did meet, I have to just say, I feel like my friend always tells me, you guys are
Oh,
moving
we
so
have
fast.
horror
There's
stories,
more,
Paulina.
there's more. You know?
Yes.
This other guy, we're moving a little fast. So when you said like, oh, come on the trip with me tomorrow, I was like, is she talking to the guy I'm talking to? Because like he asked me the same thing, like, oh, we go
To
with
travel
me
with him?
the next week, and I was like, oh, I don't know about that.
Oh my
So,
god.
so I could have been in this
No, that's
situation.
so cool.
I could have been like you guys.
Wait, tell me about the horror stories. I want to hear about the horror stories.
I mean, you know, it's just a dating game. I'm 27, so it's like a
Oh,
weird time.
stop it. You're
It's a
18.
weird-
You're
You're so
18, stop
young,
it.
yeah.
So,
yeah,
wait,
no,
wait.
Plenty
So,
of time.
how many disastrous dates were there? Only one?
With this guy?
Yeah, no, with the dating. So you met all.
I could write a book about the dating
Oh,
game.
Stop
Oh.
it. You met
We
like a
should do
lot of them.
another film about that, Pantaleon.
And I'm giving you ideas, right?
Oh, definitely. That's what I'm
Please.
asking. No.
Please, anytime.
No, but so how many dates? Like 5, 7?
Yeah, like a good 10 dates that
10
I can
dates.
name that are bad.
10 horrible
Yeah,
dates?
it's not easy to find a perfect guy.
It's not.
It's not.
easier said than done.
Well,
I
first of all,
truly believe.
there's no perfection. So that's never gonna happen.
I
Well, no, that's true. That's true. But yeah, okay. But
Right.
there are just a few that are worth
Fighting for.
fighting for exactly.
There is a saying that goes like love, for example, if you meet a person that will fulfill your needs at 60%,
Mhm.
you are set. Like that's amazing. So because that's great, you know, the 60%, and that's a big percentage. But if you're with somebody that has like 60% of positive things and beautiful things that you
A
love,
possibility.
that's great. Love is dealing with the 40% that you can't stand.
That's a
That
lot.
you want to strangle
lot,
him every
yeah.
single day for being this 40% entity.
I heard it was 80-20. Now you're telling me 60-40.
That 80-20 doesn't exist.
Oh
Yeah, just make peace with that. It doesn't exist. It's at least 50-50, 60-40. 60-40, you are in the right track. But yeah,
Okay.
80-20, just delete the app. It's not gonna
All
happen.
right. I'm going to go do that when I
Keep your
get off
hope
work. I know, right?
Oh
Although
There's
my
no hope.
god, you have to be
There's no hope.
positive.
That's
There's no
okay.
There
You know
is
what?
hope, Paulina. Now.
After
80-20.
seeing
Hear him.
the movie yesterday, when I watched it,
Uh-huh.
like, there is hope. Okay?
There is hope.
Yeah.
That's what I took away from
Well,
it.
that's a
There's hope.
rom-com. Rom-coms are
Yeah.
are full of hope and also full of BS. But it's, I mean, not BS because, I mean, but you know, it's
I
a
know what you're
rom-com.
saying.
It's a rom-com.
And you guys did such a great job with it. So, what did you do to actually prepare for the role too, as far as preparing for the film? Was there anything specific?
Well, Sandra can tell you because Sandra is a very well. Sandra, besides being an amazing singer and composer,
Yes.
Thank you.
and she is. For some reason, producers or directors will see her as a more dramatic actress because she cries beautifully and she's very intense. But very few people know that she's very good at comedy, as you saw
Yes.
yesterday.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I was such a big fan of flicks and in when I was younger, of comedy films,
Uh-huh.
and I grew up and I wanted to become an actress, and I had more opportunities in the drama genre than in comedy. So for me, doing this film, it was such a fresh air. And it's not easy. I really think that comedy is the most difficult genre. I mean, to make people laugh is so hard. So I really admire like Jaime and all these amazing actors that are so good for comedy because it's so hard to really get a laugh from people. What? Oh yeah, but it was a roller coaster because I think Jess is like suffering since the beginning.
Yeah.
And the director told me, the more you suffer, the more related the people will be.
Yes.
So I had to suffer a lot.
Well, in my case, Hank, I didn't want him to be shallow. I wanted Hank to have not to be an empty barrel. So I talked to people with schizophrenia, with bipolarity, and I'm like, hey, listen, how is your life? How are your episodes? Do you remember what happens? Do you black out? Like, I really wanted to have something. And the best compliment I received was from a journalist in Los Angeles that told me, I saw my husband. I saw my husband in you.
Wow.
When I watched the film. My husband suffered from bipolarity and a bunch of other conditions, and I saw him. You know, I'd rather hear that than, you tried but you failed. That's not even close to what my husband was. So the fact that this woman told me that I saw my husband on the film, and thank you for tapping into these subjects, especially within Latinos, which is a very like taboo kind of like we don't talk about it, whatever. So.
Right.
Just the fact that you openly address the issue, it's amazing.
Absolutely. Like you said, you did it in a funny way, in a tasteful way, and because it was a comedy at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But it was addressed, which I kind of appreciated my
Yeah.
end.
Of
So
course.
Totally, and people get emotional because there's always someone that has a relative or maybe I don't know, a relationship with someone that has some kind of conditions, and it's hard, or even a kid.
What's your foundation about, or your thing that you're doing with mental health?
Oh, so we started an initiative here in Pilsen. So I teamed up with Healthy Hood Chicago. So that's located in Pilsen, which, like I said, was mostly Mexican American. And basically, we're offering free therapy for
nice.
the residents. Yeah, so we have volunteer therapists, or healers, we call them,
All right.
of all types. We have like Reiki, we have licensed professionals, we have group counseling, and it's all free because
Oh, that's
a lot of the population there also is undocumented.
Got it.
So we're providing a lot of things like
very
that.
good
We're
for
trying
you.
to build on that. Hopefully, make it a city thing, make it a nation. You know.
Why the hell not?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Definitely,
saying.
yeah.
So that's fairly new, and I am a part of that. But that's why I thought it was very
Good for you.
important, and I love that you highlighted that in the movie. You know,
Awesome.
and
Yeah.
it was just incredible to see. So I'm so happy you guys were able to stop by today as well. What's
Of
kind of
course.
like next for you both? Because obviously we got this movie coming out the 21st.
Yeah,
So
20
Friday.
oh, yes, thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
February 21st, America, listen up. 7,000 screens. I'm just kidding. We have only 400, but it's a good start. It's a very good start. We have
Yeah.
1% of the screens in the United States, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
February 21st in the United States, that's Pildoras de mi Novio, or just look for my face or Sandra's face on the poster, and you'll be at the right theater.
And tell them about your show.
No, you first.
No, please.
Okay, thank you very much. No, I'm very happy because I have a sitcom with CBS. So I have a multicam 30-minute sitcom with CBS. It's called
Wow.
Broke, and we're going to start April 2nd. That's going to be on Thursday night.
A Mexican Latin guy leading
Oh my
a
dear
show.
God,
a
yeah.
sitcom
Okay,
show.
let's
It
give a
will
round
be
of applause
done.
for that.
Thank you very much.
That is amazing.
I
So proud of
presented.
him.
Thank you. I presented at the WGA Awards, and I didn't know this because they Writers Guild Awards, so the writers write amazing material for you to present. And I didn't know. I was reading, and I'm like, is this real? Like, the only Latin American lead on a CBS show was Desi Arnaz, and then me.
Wow.
Like I was like, no, this cannot be accurate, and
But it
the
is,
writers
right?
told me, well, we did our research, and at least it is. So that was it's.
That's amazing.
it's a great-
Congratulations.
Thank you. So we're going to be April 2nd, Thursdays. It's a very powerful day for CBS because they have Young Sheldon, Men with a Plan, Mom, and our show, which is called Broke. So we start April 2nd. But the most important thing right now is the Pildoras de mi Novio, 21st of February, a couple of weeks away from premiering, and Sandra has like Amazon Prime and a bunch of things.
Wow. You guys are like
you.
staying busy.
Yeah,
I
we
love
would
it.
try. I'm gonna start a show with Amazon Prime on March. I'm gonna start shooting in Mexico, and it's a dark comedy, and I love the genre, the dark comedy genre. I think I haven't done something like that, so I'm very excited about that. I'm also a singer, so I'm releasing a single in a couple of weeks. It's like a cumbia.
Do you know Amandititita?
rap.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's like a cumbia
Yeah.
rap. I don't know what.
Have you heard of Amandititita?
No.
No.
Te pones minifalda y te crees la muy muy. It was a very...
She was very famous a couple
very
years
famous,
ago.
like a
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. So you're kind of like.
Yeah, we're doing like a featuring both together. So
Wait,
we're
really?
releasing the single in a couple of weeks, and
Yeah.
it's called "De Mejores Corazones Me Han Corrido." So it's a really funny title.
I like.
And thank you. And I'm also like I'm singing. Actually, what I sing originally is it's mariachi. It's really Mexican music.
Yes.
So you can find my album on Spotify or any other platform, and there's music coming up soon. So
It's called Instinto Animal.
yes.
Oh.
And when you say Instinto Animal, you always have to follow that with...
I love that. Can I try?
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Wait, which one?
Instinto animal.
Instinto minal.
No,
What is
animal
it?
instinct. Instinto Animal.
Instinto animal.
Yeah.
Hey, go.
it.
You should put
I
that on your
know.
dating profile.
Oh my god.
Yes, a little soundbite there of your
Exactly.
dating
I might
profile.
scare them away, but it's okay.
No, well, after the 10
I
you've
know.
had, you'll good. I mean, who
I know.
knows? It might help.
That's true. We might just really switch it up. But I love it that you guys are here today. Thank you so much again. One last time, I have
Yes.
to just ask as well, how can we support more Latinos in movies and in everything, television, writing? How can we do that here in the
Well,
U.S.?
when we do projects, we try to have don't be breaking my boot. When we have projects, we try to invite our friends and brothers to be with us and do projects together with them. There are also a lot of cool institutions like the National Hispanic Media Coalition or NALIP who are there to make sure that we are well represented.
Yes.
And and we have a fair representation on the mainstream media, but at least representation, because sometimes we don't have representation. But as Mexicans, they ask me, how you want to think about the Oscars? I'm like, well, I think that Mexicans have dominated the Oscars for the past 3 years, so I think
That's
we're
true.
good on that end. But yeah, it is a shame that it's not diverse enough. There are not enough women nominated. On Jane the Virgin, we never got a nomination for a SAG-AFTRA award, and I mean, things. It happens, and it's horrible. But we have to keep fighting the fight.
Exactly.
I love this fight, and I love that we came together here in the city to help,
Yeah.
I guess like spread awareness, but also like talk about the movie and talk about projects we have coming up, and like you said, supporting each other.
Definitely.
So that to me is very important. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
February
Nice to meet
21st.
you.
So nice to meet you, and I'm so
Thank
happy
you.
you guys were able to stop by. So February
Of course.
21st, we're all going to be sitting in our theaters.
There you
Please,
go,
in Chicago,
watching
please
Las
bring all the
Pildoras de
family.
mi Novio.
That's right.
How
Bring
you
la
re-
abuela, the tia, the everyone.
Bring your side chicks.
Exactly.
Bring your
For them,
boyfriends.
for Las Pildoras, how would an American read Las Pildoras? Las Pildoras. How do they?
Oh my God.
For them to understand the
Las
poster.
Pildoras.
Pildoras.
Demi Novio.
Oh, Las Pil. Okay, so when you see a poster that says Las Pildoras de mi Novio, that's our white film.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
If you
the one
want
you
to
have to
laugh,
watch.
go and see the film.
And your face is on it too, your beautiful face.
Yes,